Alright, so I've kind of throttled back a little bit with my uploads lately, as some of you may or may not notice. A couple reasons for that, I guess. It's, to upload videos 5 times a week or even 3 times a week is quite a task. And I'm getting to the point here a little bit where it's like, okay, so if I'm not enjoying this, like if it feels like a task for me to do that, to just serve the channel, then what's the point, Because the hobby starts to become a burden then, right? Like you mix the two. Like herein lies the problem that I've discussed before, and I've tried to get this across. I think a lot of people get it, but some don't. They say things like, oh, everybody, if everybody could do the job that they loved, we'd live in a better world. Well, I'll tell you something right now. To do the job that you love is a little bit of a fallacy, actually. Like it's a short-lived fantasy. Like I lived it for a while, and I did. I loved the film industry. I loved the museum. I was doing a job for a decade there or more, maybe 15 years, where I really loved it. But I had a free kind of creative. I was getting a salary, and yeah, I was working hard, but it was a free creative process. And then things like commissions, when I used to do a lot of this kind of work here, it just started to become just a rivet counting nightmare, right? And I just started to burn out. And so the love of doing what you love fell away quickly. And like I told you, I took a hiatus from it, all right? And then I re-entered it again. So I got to guard myself against that, because it's a trap you can fall into. Because the actual channel, maintaining a channel, I don't want to even really talk about the monetary or the economics of it, but I guess I should mention it, that it's not worth it really when you're doing this kind of thing. Like I don't care anyway, like it was offered to me, it's no big deal, it's insignificant anyway, what they give you. And then on top of that, the IRS takes a chunk from you. Imagine that. You make a pittance and then they gouge you as well. That's the new thing. What a joke. Anyway, it's not going to stop me from doing what I'm doing. I'm just going to resort back to the way I started this channel. Just going to, relax and try to do more quality uploads and not do them under pressure. Okay, so just want to touch on a couple of things then. This is like maybe a bit of a layout update and maybe a little bit of a rant. When you get older, it feels good to rant. You notice that? Like to just get it off your chest sometimes. And, because sometimes, another thing is that frankly, it really bugs me the way this culture is becoming. Like you can't protest anymore without being canceled. Like what the... Yeah, I'm sorry, man, but I'm set in stone. I'm not going for that. Anyway, one of the things I want to protest about is I'd mentioned earlier about Athlon. I was going to maybe possibly pick up one of the new Athlon version 2, with the LEDs. Big deal. This here Cato's been pumping LEDs long before they have, and they're almost half the money, and they run twice as better too. Nothing beats, these Dash 9 Catos are the best running locomotive in the whole market. And I have good facts and reason to back it up. But of course, not everybody wants a Dash 9. But anyway, that's another topic there. But I just want to say that, I did a bit of research on just the most recent reviews of Athlon. And this is not to pick, I can pick apart any locomotive. But, we should be able to say something to help keep quality control where we deserve it, because we pay our hard-earned money for it, right? And I just want to read you a few comments about the latest Athlon Genesis SD60M. This was just, I was 15, 20 minutes surfing the, reviews. Now listen to this. I'll just whip off a few of them. Those bearing caps. I had 2 come off in 5 minutes. Another one. These have an issue with bearing caps coming loose. Athlon says they have no replacements, offered no plan to, right? To all of you who get this, be very careful when you take the engine out of the box with the bearing caps. They are loose in the package. Another one. One came off in the package, just put it back on. That comment I just said was somebody that was given a locomotive for free to do a fanboy review, by the way. So naturally they're going to say that. You know, they're not going to protest the locomotive if it was given to them and they're getting money for it or a freebie. Unfortunately, my UP version is a miss. It was missing 2 bearing caps. Ditch lights are pretty dim. Worst of all, it can't run through a right-hand curve without derailing. I think the brake chain is hanging up. How many rotating bearing caps is your ST60 missing? Well, you were right about the bearing caps. Try to get more. They told me no, can't get any because something with the shipper. Unfortunately, one of the UP60Ms, I got a cap missing. So here we go. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 comments spread out over 3 or 4 reviews of bearing caps, the little rotating bearing caps everybody's raving about, version 2, are falling off. You know, here we go again, right? Jeez. And then if you say something, you get canceled. Anyway, that's that for that, right? I want to address a couple of comments that were made earlier. Like somebody asked me how I made this hedge here. Okay, and I'll just show you quickly how I did that. So you can buy this stuff here at Michael's. It's this sort of green plastic foliage, right? And so I just cut off, you know, the ends like that, and then just hot glue them onto a strip of balsa wood. Okay. Right, and they go in like that's what these are. And I just glue them all along, and then I just 3M sprayed or craft glue spray and just hit them with 4 mil and or 7 mil and 4 mil static grass, and then a little bit of foam, like the ground, real fine foam over top. I think I might have hit them with a bit of olive paint too. Maybe not, but that's how I made these. So just to answer that question. And then what else have I been doing? Oh yeah, I've been building more trees. I built 5 more of these for this end right here. Okay, so I'm going to put more trees in here. I want this end to have more, you know, a little more height and just sort of maybe block out this corner here, because I'm not going to fix that. Like I'm getting to the end of this layout here and I'm not going to bother with that. I mean, I might put a curved piece of paper, but matching the blue will be a bit of a stretch. But yeah, probably not though. So, you know, up a bunch of trees, like from this angle, you won't be able to see it anyway. And then in terms of dealing with this here, like around the building here, like this gap here is probably because this panel settled a bit, right? Because this is like almost like a snare drum, like down on this end. Because I haven't put any foam underneath it. Because I don't put blue foam underneath until everything on the bottom's sort of done, and I just never got around to it here, like on that part. But I'll add a few pieces in there anyway, because it sort of dulls the sound down, if there is any. And then I'm just going to pencil off this area here, and I'm going to glue in. I got lazy, you know, I can't make everything, right? So I picked up some of this Woodland Scenics edging strips. Like, I know you can make this, but you know, you get so overwhelmed sometimes with projects, you know, anyway, I got a bunch of this kicking around, the Army Painter stuff they call it, Woodland Scenics, and then some of this by Vallejo of all people, this Wild Jungle Tufts. I'm going to use that and just dress up all the edge of the buildings just so I can, you know, get a bit of a break from, you know, the intensity of just scratching up everything. And in terms of scratching or kit bashing, I just want to close with talking with this locomotive here. So this is the Cato SP one that I decided to kit bash because I want to do a BC Rail -9, the one with the proper windows. I changed the cab here already, removed the AC box. I got to do the front and rear pilots because they're totally different. And then the fuel tank gets a revision, like this extra tank here on the side that's not evident on any -9 that I've seen so far. Maybe Scale Trains does it, but. And then the steps, I took the steps out. There were 5 drop steps, so I cut them all out and I reframed. I mean, I was going to scratch the pilot, but I thought, forget it, right? So I built it out here, so that's correct. And then I'll add the steps in. Then I'm going to do the teardrop window here, and then the side 4-pane windows. And yeah, so I want a BC Real -9, and I already got a DCC ESU Loc sound board for it. And I'm going to probably run 3 or 4 speakers in this. You can run some in the tank here, which I like. And then I'm going to probably run a bass woofer type in the cab. Because, you know, with the GEs, you know, the FDL 16s, like they got a kind of a low, kind of sort of throttly kind of idle to them. And in order to bring that sound out, I want to bass it up a bit. But anyway, that's kind of a quick update on things. So, you know, I'm getting there, you know, right? And she's looking pretty good. She's getting fun to operate too. And as far as the, you know, the new design, it's still on the back burner. I just don't know yet what's going on there. And I'm still, like, once I get this end done here, then I'm going to start doing little details and stuff, like, you know, 50-gallon drums and more pallets, like just other details that are fun to sort of tinker with, like at my own speed. But I'll keep you up to snuff on all of that. Okay, so happy modeling to all of you. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope that you have a great day.